What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Glory Reds podcast. And we are coming off a victory in the last minute to seal our first 3 points in I don't even know how long. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'm joined with my boy Benito. What's happening, man? What's good?
What's good, Pastor D, man? It's been
Good.
so long that you don't even remember
Hey,
when
man.
we've won.
I can't even remember when we won. I can't remember the last time we tasted like 3 points, you know? This game was so intense because we needed a win. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? We needed a win. We're coming off like a lot of bad press, towards the manager, towards
yeah,
the fan base, towards the players. The fans have also been getting a lot of shit. We've been getting a lot of shit like, oh, the fans are just, not helping the cause. They're jumping on the players' backs and criticizing them. The fans are blindly following the manager and the whatever, all of this, all of that. So I think this was a win for all of us in
mm,
that regard. So yeah, man, a lot happened during this match. We spoke before, like I said, I never got a chance to watch the second half, which was
yeah.
really bad. But I did watch the first half. The whole of the first half, I did witness the incident where we got disallowed a goal. Obviously, we're gonna get into all of that. I'm so happy that
Mm,
it was our captain who came through and won for us because he has been under the knife. You know what I mean? People have
yeah,
pundits have been going
yeah,
at his neck. Is he captain material? This and this. And once again, he goes and shuts everyone up. He goes and
yeah,
and and delivers on being the leader that he is and getting us those crucial points that we needed. But anyway, let's start from straight off from the top, right? Where we
yeah.
always start. First of all, give me your thoughts about, you know, about the game, and then we'll get into the other stuff.
First of all, I want to give a big shout out to the away fans because,
Yeah,
man, today they brought their A game again. They were pushing the.
yeah,
It was beautiful to see. It was absolutely beautiful to watch, to see the United fans like push the guys, encourage the guys. It was beautiful. I mean, yeah, we're gonna talk more about how the game panned out, but just with the emotion, the last minute things, Fergie time, the way the
yeah,
fans were pushing, man, that was a moment. And again, coming from our skipper, our Magnifico, who has been brutalized on the media, and he just came in there with a captain's performance, or you can say a captain's goal. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, man, 3 points. People have been complaining about United, and here we are. We are sitting, I think, sixth or seventh. I think it's sixth, and we're like, hey,
Yeah. I think we've jumped. Yeah.
yeah, and
Mm.
we're like just sitting there saying, hey, what's up? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, let's go, let's go.
So yeah, yeah. So before we get into it, of course, where we always love to start that starting 11, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
always That's our starting point. We look at that starting 11, and it gives us an idea of how the game's gonna pan out, what's going through the manager's mind.
yeah,
I've sort of tagged this as a sort of like a meme when everybody asks me like, why is this player not starting? Why? I just always reply with tactics. You know what I mean? Where is this player? Tactics. That's our gaffer. That's our go-to response now. When anyone asks anything about Manchester United, I'm
yeah,
always gonna hit them back with tactics. So yeah, man, that's starting 11.
yeah.
Any surprises? How did you feel about that starting 11 going into this match?
Say that again.
How did you feel about the starting 11 going into this match?
I had mixed feelings about it, but it was almost one of those things where it's like I've come to expect that sort of starting lineup. So I wasn't really phased.
Yeah,
But I mean, if, for example, if we had lost this game, we would have been picking out all the mistakes in that squad. And we're still going to do that, like,
yeah,
because I mean, first of all, there's one thing that I need to mention, and I think the gaffer has been pointing this out these past few days because I've been watching interviews and the guy is defending himself. So I just wanted to point something
yeah,
out here. Right now, as United are progressing, we shouldn't expect a style of play. And I think the manager has alluded
Yeah,
this numerous times, even after this game, where he said, because I think Rio Ferdinand was pushing him, like, hey, Rio was asking him some very stern, aggressive, I felt they were aggressive questions, you know?
yeah,
And he was like, last season there was like a style of play, and then this season, like, what is the style of play? Blah blah blah. Like getting at the manager, and the manager was like,
yeah,
listen, it's no lie that we've been hit by injuries. Our starting like
yeah,
players that were very important for the squad, for us to have this style of play that you guys are seeking, they're out. And having to chop
yeah,
and change because of the situation that is at hand, it is very difficult to get some sort of consistency. So I want people to understand that right now, United are just going to be scrapping for goals. Like, we're just going to be scrapping for games. Whatever we're going to get, that's what we're going to get. Let's forget
yeah,
about the style of play. Like, I think we should criticize more about the style of play when he actually has his full starting lineup. Like, when he actually has
yeah.
everybody in there. Because they keep on asking him this question. And he keeps on saying, listen, it's
Mm,
difficult for me to I don't know if they're not
yeah,
understanding what he's saying, but he's basically saying it's difficult for me to get some sort of consistency in my team because of all the injuries that are happening. I have to keep on
yeah,
changing and chopping and changing, and each
yeah,
player has got a different personality too. So it's difficult.
yeah,
So until he gets all his players in, I honestly think that's when we're going to get um, um, some sort of decent style of play. Also, almost like a repeat of last season, because last season we did have a style of play. We're playing from the back,
yeah,
and we had good counter-attacking moments. We tried to keep possession as much as we can. So I think we're going to get that. Having said that, when I saw the starting lineup, I was just like, hey, Jesus, take the wheel. I was just like, hey, you know what? Gaffer, I get
it
it,
was
man.
nerve-wracking.
I get it. Like, I'm not even going to try and fight you because I
Yeah,
thought you were going to start Varane. You made it clear that Varane is good to go.
yeah,
But why isn't he starting?
yeah,
That was something that was
mm,
mysterious for me. And then
mm,
Ericsson and Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay, I actually didn't have a problem with it. I think we even talked about it yesterday when we were like, these are the
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
games that Scott McTominay actually thrives in. And lo and behold,
yeah,
I think Scott McTominay had a good game today. It was just one of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
It was his game. It's just that we were not in
He,
our, yeah. And
he,
then
he backed up
um
his speech.
say
I'm saying he backed up his speech, eh?
yeah, he did. He
If that
did.
goal counted, fam, but we'll get to it.
Bro, I was like, Scotty! I was happy for him. But
Yeah,
honestly, going into this game, I didn't have any expectations. I had I predicted that we are going to win one. I thought it was going to be a 1-1 draw, but initially I did say I was going
yeah,
3-0 because. But then when I saw also Fulham starting 11, remember I told you that, hey man, we might have a chance because these guys, there are
yeah,
some key players that are missing in that squad, and we might. It's only
yeah.
us to lose this game. And bro,
True.
watching that game was just
Mm,
like, guys, seriously? Like, it
yeah,
was painful to watch. It was like swallowing glass. Like, I know we won, but it
yeah,
was it was difficult. We were doing good things, just handling ourselves because the way it looks, like this United team, like it's so wounded, it's so battered that uh, we we're just hanging on there. But man,
yeah,
it was a very interesting game. It was an end to end game. I don't think there were any tactics from
yeah,
both sides. It was just almost like, hey, each team was feeling each other. There was this guy's going this side. We had opportunities this side. But yeah, man. Overall, I think it
yeah,
was a decent game. It was a decent game.
yeah. So obviously now we spoke about that first half. We spoke about the starting 11 now, and I get into the first half. Before we jump into the second half. So from what I watched, right,
Yeah.
first half we actually played decent. right? And
Yeah,
obviously we played a team that's not as good as Newcastle City. So, but in any case, I think there are a lot of positive things that were done in that match. I can't completely slate, the whole match and say I didn't watch the whole match anyway. But from the first half, from what I watched, we're
yeah,
actually we're actually passing better. We
yeah,
looked a bit more constructive, you know.
yeah.
I still have a problem with Anthony not taking on the defender. He keeps swiveling
Bro,
around and making back
bro,
passes. I
he
don't like
was
it. Garnacho did, you know, exactly. Garnacho was doing that as well. He wasn't being more forward as usual, but the passes somehow were making sense. You know, before that goal came through, we had a slight injury scare. I was like thinking, are we cursed or something?
yeah, me too.
When Harry Maguire got that knock, because I'm like, we literally do not have defenders.
Yeah,
We don't. We can't afford for another one to get injured. Even if it's Harry Maguire. And like we said, he has been having quite a run of good games. So, right now with our injury crisis, he's actually an asset for us right now. We need him. We can't afford for him to get injured. So when that happened, it really made my heart jump. But thankfully, he managed to pull through, and I got
warrior.
him in my fantasy and he got me my 6 points. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, so we get the goal and it was deemed as an offside decision,
Yeah,
right? What are your thoughts on that? Because honestly, I even now, and we saw so many replays. That VAR decision went for almost 30
is
minutes on
right. It
them
was
trying to decide
bullshit.
whether it was on or
Listen,
off.
D,
That goal was clear as night and day
bro.
onside. I don't know what. I don't know. Maybe you can explain it to me because I
Uh,
honestly
uh,
don't
yeah,
know how that decision
uh,
was called as
uh,
offside. And I
I
think,
can't.
and I think
D.
every single person in this world who's not even a United fan who watched that match felt some sympathy for us because they're like, we just don't see it. We don't see how this game was disallowed. And Ben, before you even give me your thoughts about how you feel about it, what's pissing off is when this stuff happens to United, right? When it happens vice versa. And I remember it happened in that, I think it was the Wolves game that we played.
Mm,
And we were so livid because after that game, because of the poor VAR decision,
mm,
those officials were suspended
mm,
for their nonsense analysis.
yeah.
And we're like, this will never happen to United. And I highly doubt that when these guys go sit down after the match and review those tapes properly and see
Mm,
that they did do a fuck up, they're not going to get suspended. They're not going to get suspended for their incorrect decisions. So there's a lot of injustice
mm.
that's going our way. And it's starting to feel like these guys have a thing against United. I don't want to say it, but it's sort of just seeming that way because this one was just, fam, talk to me, man. I don't know. Make it make sense for me, man.
Bro, first things first. There was a term that was thrown around when they were deciding that thing. Subjective
Yeah. Fam,
subjective something, whatever the fuck that is.
yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, whoa,
Subjective
whoa, whoa,
decision or what?
whoa. I'm like, since when? When? Wait, where is this
Fam,
terminology now coming from? Like now, because you're put in a
they
situation where
just
it's
make
tricky, you're now coming up with this terminology. Come on, don't try and throw us
my guy.
curveballs. And then, bruh, you look at how the thing happened. They're saying Harry Maguire was the one that was offside. Fine. Harry Maguire didn't get the ball. And if
Exactly.
you look at if dog, they say he impeded Muniz. Okay, fine. Did you see how
Exactly.
he
But
tumbled over? Did you see how
dude,
like
and
there's no way Harry Maguire is trying to stop this. He has got no business with this guy. This guy
fam,
is the guy that's
and
running
he's
into Maguire. You know what?
dude, and
And he
Maguire is
even
in
gives
front of him. How is Maguire supposed to see him behind him? He's literally tracking the ball, tries to get at it and completely misses it. And then the Fulham player stumbles into Maguire. Because
dog.
if Maguire got that ball, then we should have been awarded a penalty. Because he bumped
Yes.
into Maguire and
Ah,
impeded
well,
him.
well, he would have
So
been
how
offside.
they said,
If he got the ball, he would have been offside because the
fam,
offside was given
Maguire
because of him.
wasn't offside.
No,
Maguire wasn't offside.
that's why they gave.
He wasn't.
That's why the goal was
But that's
disallowed.
the thing. That's the thing, Ben. He
Mm,
wasn't offside. So even this thing about subjectiveness, it wasn't. And the funny thing is when they're drawing the offside lines, I don't even know why they were using the shoulder. Because they used the last piece of the body, which was the arms, right? Because when they drew the lines, they drew the line on Garnacho's shoulder. And I'm like, why are you drawing the line on Garnacho's shoulder? Why are you not drawing it on his outstretched arm? Because
No,
when you look at that, Harry Maguire and Garnacho were both onside. They were both onside. Neither of them were offside for that
no,
goal.
no, no, D. No, no. Harry Maguire was offside when the ball, like at the ball, at the point of contact, that offside thing that they gave it because Harry Mag. Listen.
But
Remember, you
but
just said
then
that
you
if Harry
don't
Maguire touched that ball, we would have gotten a
yes,
penalty. They would have not given it because
yes,
already from the moment
of
it was
course.
kicked, he was offside. Garnacho wasn't. So now the reason why they gave, so here's the why they gave the offside. They said that Harry Maguire, being already offside, impeded Muniz from getting to the ball. Do you understand? That's why they gave the offside. Garnacho wasn't offside, but because Harry Maguire impeded. So if Maguire didn't touch Muniz, then Garnacho got that ball because they're assuming that Muniz would have got that ball, which, hey, I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah. So if Harry Maguire didn't touch homeboy and then Garnacho did, it would have been a goal. But
yeah,
then now this thing of
yeah,
saying it's subjective, where VAR usually makes the decision.
yeah,
Then this
yeah,
time they are telling the ref to go and check. Tell me when was the last time the
yeah.
referee has gone to the VAR to check for an offside? Tell me. I can wait. Like I don't remember a
Yeah,
lengthy decision because of an offside that is not there.
fam.
And you know what the funny thing is? You know what hurts me the most is that because it's
Yeah,
United, it's just going to be like, United already have got a
yeah,
lot of drama. They've got a lot of things on their plate.
yeah,
Nobody cares
yeah.
about what United
Exactly,
is going through. And if
exactly.
we complain, United
Yeah,
fans are this, United fans are that. But I'm telling
exactly,
you, that
exactly.
was a miscarriage of justice. We were denied. It's almost the
Mm,
same thing as Liverpool, the time when Luis Diaz, that offside thing.
yeah,
It all works in
yeah,
the same thing. You know what I mean? But here we are, bro.
mm, mm.
At least we won. I
Yeah,
thank the
man.
football gods for
E-
shining something.
Exactly. Yeah, for impeding their justice upon Fulham.
Yeah,
But yeah, man,
yeah.
that was anyway. I'll have a look at the replay again. But honestly, when they drew the lines from when the ball left the foot of I can't remember who took the free kick. I don't know if it was Bruno Fernandes or something.
Ericsson.
I remember seeing Harry Ericsson. Yeah, it was Ericsson. I remember seeing Harry Maguire inside of the offside line. I don't remember him seeing him offside. So that's also what just fucking mind blew me. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, fam. I don't
Those
understand where
guys,
this is coming
they
from
need
because
to
I honestly thought,
explain. They need to fucking
yeah,
explain that decision.
they need to.
One of
We need a
something.
PowerPoint presentation
Yeah,
of how this subjective
yeah.
um decision came about and why all of a sudden you're just making up rules along the way because I'm pretty sure if you go to the VAR rule book, there's no such thing as a referee can make a subjective decision on what happened. Like just daylight robbery at its highest, man. It's
And D,
unbelievable.
you know what's crazy about this? If if
Yeah.
you use the word subjective, né, then it means
Mm.
there's no consistency in the rule.
Yeah,
You understand?
exactly.
So
Then
what's
what was
the
the point
point?
of the VAR? What's the
What's the
point?
point?
Yeah, literally madness.
Ah, uh,
Absolute madness. But yeah, man.
yeah,
Obviously we got that goal disallowed.
yeah,
The first half ended 0-0. Like I said, from what I watched, we played decent. We're
yeah.
able to keep possession. We were able to string along passes. Nothing malicious. I mean, the whole game went without a yellow card. That's something that's really amazing. That the whole game went without any of the teams getting a yellow card. So, but yeah, that's the first half. So yeah, like I said, I never watched anything of the second half. Maybe you can just run us through like what happened in the second half and like 'cause I never watched the goal. I was literally just following the audio commentary on what you call this on the Manchester United app, And you
Yeah.
know, obviously, when the commentator's voice starts rising, you can just feel something is going on. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, boom, back of the net, Bruno Fernandes. I'm like, oh God, we saved this thing in the last minute, you know. And this is and I'm sure Ten Hag's gonna, you know, in the press conference be like, this is the fight we're talking about.
Yeah, he
You know what
was
I mean? But
beaming. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
He was beaming. He was
I
happy.
you know what, man? I don't like this thing of us winning in the 90th minute. I don't like this
Me
thing of
too.
you see
And
that fight. You see that fight. Nah, man. We need this fight from. You understand? But I can understand how that decision may have affected the game. You know, but yeah, man. Run us through that second half, man. What's your take on the second half? Was it more of the same of the first half? Was there any improvement? Like the subs? Did the subs make a difference? Like I said, I didn't see what happened. Like, do you think if
okay.
those subs were not made, we would have managed to get that goal?
Nah.
And
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 first of
and
all,
and before you get into it, I just want to mention one more thing. Guess who assisted? You watched the
I
game
was
anyway.
no, I
Okay,
don't have
okay, talk.
anything.
Get into it. Okay,
Hey,
okay, you talk. Let me give you a platform. Talk, my guy.
you know what, D? First of all, I need to point out that
Mm,
Ericsson, Scott McTominay, that balance was not right. If we had a more
okay.
combative midfield opponents, we were going to be in trouble. Ericsson was
Yeah.
like he was holding, and he was the weakest link. Like that was the scariest thing
Okay.
because he was providing good passes going forward and link up play, but then being
Yeah.
a holding, he was almost doing a Scott McTominay, and that was worrying me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, another person that
Mm,
was also annoying me, Anthony. Anthony for me was the worst player that we had on the pitch today. The worst.
yeah.
Like
Mm.
I'm not having it. I am I I was excited when we bought him from
Yeah.
Ajax. I'm not.
Okay.
If we can get rid of
Yeah.
Anthony, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
We are
The
not
better.
getting anything out of this guy. We've already messed with his mentality.
Yeah.
That the booing, and
Yeah.
maybe he's still thinking about the case that he's going through. Maybe. But man, this
Yeah.
guy should
Yeah.
not start for United. Just like Rashford. He shouldn't. He
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
he's afraid. He's afraid. Since
Mm,
when? Like
yeah.
he was the guy that was supposed to like raise the roof at Old Trafford. He was the guy that was make people
Yeah.
stand up because he's taking on players. Here is
Yeah.
he's timid. I'm not having it. So second half comes
Yeah.
in, and um the gaffer brings in Pelestri for uh
Okay.
Anthony, and who else did he take out? Hoyland for
Kundo.
Martial. Was it Hoyland
Yeah.
for Martial? And then he took out
Uh,
Ericsson
uh,
for Mount. Mount came on for Ericsson.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And then I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah. Yeah. And then Rasmus came off. Anthony. Um. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Facundo came on for Anthony in the 63rd minute,
yes,
and then um Mason Mount came in for Christian Eriksen. Anthony Martial came in for Rasmus Højlund, and
yes.
then
Aran,
yeah,
I
Ver-
think,
Varane came in for Garnacho in the 93rd minute.
yes, yes. And
Yeah.
immediately there was more urgency. You know, we were still playing the whole,
Yeah.
it was the game, the whole game. Like nothing really changed from
Yeah.
the first half in terms of how the game was going,
Yeah.
the end to end stuff. It didn't
Mm,
change. It was just more intense in the
yeah.
second half. Fulham were coming at us. They had
Yeah.
opportunities. They were trying. They were hitting from distance. They were trying, but it just wasn't working. Harry
Yeah.
Maguire, man, I almost feel bad for wanting this guy to leave because he was one of his passing. Harry Maguire's passing, man.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy, but he was his
Yeah.
progressive passes, his passes in between the lines,
Yeah.
his pings. Man,
Yeah.
Harry Maguire
Yeah.
pass.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Harry
Yeah.
Maguire
But we
can
know this
pass.
about him.
Yeah, but like
But we
today,
know this about him, you
yeah,
know.
today
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
today,
Yeah,
today was
today
Andre
he took it
Pelot.
up a
You
notch.
know what
You
I
know,
mean?
he wasn't pinging more. He was piercing in, like
Yes,
cutting through the lines
yes,
more.
yes.
And
I noticed that in the first half.
yeah, and he continued it in the second half. Like he was relentless with it. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And Bruno
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
he was just all over the place. Mason Mount added some energy, some dynamism. Scott McTominay didn't stop. He was just bombarding, just causing. You know, the game, like I said, there was no style.
yeah,
Like we were not trying to be pretty. We are trying to get a win,
yeah,
get points. And that's exactly what
yeah,
happened. Facundo
yeah.
comes in, he immediately becomes
Okay.
a pest. Immediately, that goal that
Yeah,
Bruno scored, if it
yeah,
wasn't because of Pelestri's
yeah,
persistence, it wouldn't have happened.
yeah,
And I don't see it
yeah,
happen. Like Bruno doesn't score that goal when Anthony's there. Bruno doesn't score that goal when
yeah,
Mount or anybody else is in that right side playing there or Rashford playing there. Nah, because
yeah,
Pelestri has that persistence, that I'm biting at your feet. He kept going. The ball was
yeah,
ricocheting. And you know there's this thing in football. Um, that passion, that desire, the more hunger you have when you're fighting for the ball, the the ball almost
yeah,
favors you.
yeah.
Like it almost favors you. It just goes in your
It
favor.
just it just falls to your feet. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, and that was
yeah,
literally what happened with Facundo Pelestri. He went, ta, 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 ta,
yeah,
chased the ball, passed the ball, just ricocheted on him. Bam, bam. He 1-2 with
yeah,
Bruno there. Scott Mc, bruh, it was just, and then it just took like individual brilliance by Bruno, chopping, changing, turning, and
yeah.
lifting the ball. You know, it was just one of those
Mm.
goals. But like I said, that goal doesn't happen if Facundo isn't persistent, if he's not pushing, if he's not
I
charging, if
hear
he's
you.
not taking on that player, it doesn't go in. So big
Yeah,
up, big shout
yeah,
out to Pelestri. That right there, today's performance has earned him. I'm telling
yeah,
you right now, it has earned him a seat at the table. Let me tell you why, D. The
yeah,
manager, the way it
yeah.
looks, the manager's going for players that are going to play for him. Like
True.
he's not he's not messing about. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah,
Kundo starts against Copenhagen. I won't be. And
yeah,
even
yeah.
the next game
Mm.
that's going to come, I won't be surprised
Yeah,
because Anthony was given
yeah.
ample time. 2 games. I think it was what? City, then Newcastle, then
Newcastle.
today.
Now
Bruh.
today.
And then Facundo comes in and provides an assist.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though
Mm,
as
mm.
messy as it was, he still did. Garnacho on the other side was doing wonders compared to this guy. I don't understand. These senior players need to
Yeah,
chow bench, you know. But
yeah. They
like I
do.
said, man, that it was all over the place. It was doom football. You can't say that it was pretty.
Yeah.
Like if you're a United fan there sitting, here, I demand the style of play, man. Miss me with
Mm,
that. Like we need points
mm.
and we're gonna build off of this sort of small momentum. You know what I mean? And then try to see
Yeah.
how we get there. Big shout out to
It's good.
Aaron the Spider Bisaka
Oh,
because my
oh,
guy,
oh.
that he is my man of the match. Aaron Wan
Yeah,
Bissaka was my man of the match. What a breath of
yeah,
fresh
yeah.
air, dude. Oh, how
True.
he and you know what?
Mm.
I need to say something because I know that there are gonna be some fans and pundits and people gonna complain about one Bisaka. And I want to point out a few
Okay.
things because I heard
Mm.
the commentators in the game that I was watching. They were trying to prove every time that one Bisaka was caught out of position, the
Okay.
guy kept on sort of trying to push the narrative that Wan Bissaka needs to be checking himself, that he gets getting caught
Yeah,
out,
I remember
which
that.
was bullshit.
Yeah, he gets
Because I
caught
was
out.
like,
Yeah,
you need to
yeah.
follow the game. Wan Bissaka, right? This guy
Yes.
has just come from defending the ball, tackling it, running with it. Our players have lost it.
Yeah.
Is it his fault that he's been caught up front there trying
Mm.
to push us?
Exactly.
Nah, come on.
Exactly.
trying to make him look like,
Yeah.
nah, he's out of position. Wan-Bissaka today for me was
Yeah.
flawless. For somebody who has been out for a very long time,
Yeah, it was.
this guy has hit the ground
Exactly.
running. Man, I
Hard.
was just
Hard.
absolutely impressed. And I was just saying, hey,
Mm.
Dalo, what's up, man? How is it going that side in the left wing?
Mm.
He held his own, but
Mm.
you can tell that Wan-Bissaka, and I'm saying it again with my chest, Wan-Bissaka is our number one right back. That guy,
Yeah.
he gets it. He gets it. He gets
Yeah.
it.
True.
But yeah, man.
He does. He does, man. And when I watched him play in the first half, it was like he never left. He was just winning
Bro.
balls back. There was even an instance in the first half where he lost the ball and immediately went and won it back. Relentless. He was just doing
Nah,
it absolutely flawlessly. And I'm like,
you
we've
know,
been missing him. We've been missing him.
yeah,
And you could even tell because the opposition were attacking on the low side. They're like, nah, we don't want to
exactly.
try the low. The only time the ball went to the low side
Exactly.
was when he pushed up the pitch and then that area was open. That's it. But other than that, the
Thank
pressure was
you
coming
for
from the
saying
low
that.
side.
Thank you for
None of them wanted
saying that.
Bisaka. None of
Thank
them
you for
wanted a
pointing that
piece
out, D,
of
because
Bisaka.
nobody's going to say it. No one. Everybody
Yeah,
was attacking Dalot's
yeah,
side. Like they were,
exactly.
nah. William, William likes to take people to the line. Where was he? He was always
Yeah,
chopping and changing.
none of that.
It was impossible for him. It was mad.
Yeah,
Nah, man, nah.
true.
I really believe.
Yeah,
No, D, I've never stopped believing.
I can see a speechless.
I've always known that any team that misses players, no, like, and we are missing a lot, D. That is something that is not
Yeah,
talked about a lot. Like literally, I know
yeah,
it sounds like an excuse, but you see, now we are starting to understand. It's taken us a very long time to understand what's really going on. Like to really understand where the
mm,
manager's mindset is at. Because for him to come out
yeah,
and say that, listen, the style of play will come, but as you can see, I'm chopping and changing.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
very difficult to implement what I
Si-
want, you know?
yeah.
But the
Six
time will
changes
come.
made.
Yeah, the time will come.
The time,
And
time will come.
man, I hope Rashford, I mean, he picked up an injury or he didn't pass his fitness test.
Yeah,
I hope he was watching. I hope he was motivated. I'm not going to sit here and start
he
saying,
was there
hey,
on the bench.
yeah, he was there. I hope he took
Yeah,
inspiration in that,
yeah,
some of these players
true.
that are not playing, like some of these players that are not doing the stuff. Scott McTominay scoring for us, and like he was going to continue being our top goal scorer, and he's a midfielder,
Exactly.
and he's
Can
not
you
even
imagine? And he hardly gets minutes.
on.
And the first thing that came to my mind, that Scott McTominay goal, when that cross was made and then Garnacho played first time in the box,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh Lord, if this was Rashford, he was taking a shot at goal.
yeah,
If
yeah,
that was Rashford, he was going to take a shot at goal.
yeah,
And this is what we need from our wing players. We need them when they get the ball in those positions, they ping it hard, low, and fast into that box, and you just hope for an attacker to be there to put it in.
yeah,
And that's exactly what happened.
yeah,
And my fear is if Rashford was playing in that game and that goal was counted, if that was Rashford in that position, you were most likely gone for goal and hit the side net. You would have probably just fucked that whole thing up.
man. I'm,
So so like you said, I hope you took some inspiration and some tips from that situation.
bro,
That when balls are pinged in, my guy, put it back
bro,
in the box. Put
bro.
it back in the box. We're gonna get a better chance of putting that thing behind the net, than you taking a chance at goal. Because either we ping it in or it's an own goal. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
So he needs to be in that type of a mindset. But anyway, we're happy for the 3 points.
yeah, yeah,
I'm happy. Yeah, we do have some complaints and some issues here and there, but I'm so happy that we managed to get the 3 points. The football is not going to look pretty for a while until
yeah,
we get our players back.
yeah,
And I think to your point, Ten Hag is going to be playing starting players that are going to put a graft in. You know, if
yeah,
you want to play for him, you're starting, and I 100% back you when you say that we we most likely will see Pelestri starting in that Copenhagen game. And then we hope that
yeah.
Anthony can also gain some inspiration from that because true,
Exactly,
he hasn't been the same
exactly.
player since that incident and since he, He went from Super Saiyan 1 to standard form. His game has just been lacking. You know what I mean? I think he
bruh,
needs a sensu bean or
bruh.
something just to get him back into action. But yeah, man, I'm
Yeah,
I'm happy. 3 points. We're up. We're sixth. The hard work needs to
yeah,
continue from here. We've got a long way to go. We mustn't get carried
yeah,
away. This was Fulham. We're going to meet more difficult opponents along the way, and we can just hope that because the thing is, our defense and the midfield play is sort of getting better, but that front three are still not doing anything. We need the goals.
no,
Where we are
no,
lacking is the goals. Remember,
yeah,
remember when Liverpool's defense was shit and they used to concede 3 goals, they would go and win
yeah,
that game 4-3. You understand?
yeah,
Until that era was
yeah,
corrected when they brought in Van Dijk and they brought in Allison. You check. So we
yeah,
need to be on that same level. Like, look, it's fine if we concede, but we must also go and score. At the end
yeah,
of the day, we need to win. So if we're gonna concede, we need to score. End of story. You understand? We
yeah.
can't concede and then be struggling to score goals. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, man, anything else you want to add to this match? You said Wan Bissaka was your man of the match. I didn't watch the whole match, so I can't really say, who was the man of the match. I can give
It's
big ups to Harry Maguire. For
yeah,
me
it's between
personally, from
them
the
two.
first one that I watched,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like we said, man, like yes, I know I've had our issues with Harry Maguire, but I really think that him being stripped of the captaincy has just
bro.
reduced pressure off him.
I'm
He can
telling you,
just focus on
we
his game.
we said
He can just
this.
be a team player. Yeah, we did. We did.
We said
And look,
this.
look what he's doing.
He's
Look
looking
what he's
more
doing.
like a captain when he's not with the armband. And this is
Exactly.
what we want.
Exactly.
We want players
This
to
is what we
step
want.
up leaders. Bruh, I was so impressed with him
Yes.
today, taking his hits
Yeah.
and just being there.
Mm.
And I'm like, this is the
Yeah.
Maguire that we always bought him for because regardless of whatever
Exactly.
his form or whatever, he will remain
Yeah.
fit. He will play.
Yes.
And he just needs to.
He will play.
Man, Maguire is in his groove, man. He's in his groove. Like,
Yeah. True.
if he can
Big
maintain,
ups.
like, if he can, for me, the only thing I see for Maguire is for him just going up. Like, like,
Yeah.
I don't, I, if he was to drop, like, that would be really disappointing. But I can only say it going
Yeah.
up for him right now. And if it drops, it's
Yeah.
going to be on him. Because,
True.
truth be told, like, with the whole thing, like, we're not sure of Varane. Like, we're not sure. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really surprised about what's going on with Varane. But we already know that Varane has
Yeah.
got injury problems. And Martinez is injury prone.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire is like our
Yeah.
most solid centre back, the one that we want to get rid of him. So he might just be one of
Yep.
those most important
Yep.
um, players for us.
It's true.
So
True.
yeah, 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 yeah. And and another thing that I was thinking, like the gaffer really needs to find the solution in that midfield. Why he keeps on benching Amrabat? Maybe he wants to start
Yeah.
Amrabat in the Champions League. Cool. But we need somebody fielding so that I'm
Mm.
telling you, if Bruno is unleashed, guys, that guy is a problem.
Yeah.
He's still creating. I know it's annoying for some people to watch,
Yeah.
but that guy is creating chances. He's creating
Mm.
chances.
Yeah.
I think if we
Yeah.
give Bruno like that consistency where he's getting comfortable in him being in his own position and he's just orchestrating things, I think we might
Yeah.
get something out of our front three. I really think so. And so
True.
he must fix that because our defense, we already know it's fate. We already know.
Mm.
Like we're
Yeah.
not fooling ourselves to what we are waiting for who and who and who. Whoever's there will play. Whoever's fit will play. It is what it is. But in that
Yeah.
midfield, man, he needs to find some sort of consistency. He really does. He really does.
True. True. Yeah, man. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Unless you got one last thing to say before we close it off.
Nah, man, I am just happy, 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 happy. You know, trust the manager, trust the process. It is what it
True.
is. Like if you love this club,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be too quick to write our manager off. I don't know if he
True.
because this win, I'm not sure if now he has become the fastest manager to get to
Yeah.
50
50.
wins
Yeah. Yeah.
at United. I
Yeah.
think
He's
maybe
old.
he's the first or he's tied or something like that. That is something big.
Yeah.
when it comes to the history of our club has got rich history, and this manager has just
yeah,
written history. Give him time.
yeah,
Give him time. Let's
yeah.
trust the process. Let's trust and believe him. Stop gunning at him like he's some child because, hey, bro, I've been seeing them. Like nowadays, people are not pulling punches. They are
Yeah.
coming for him. The
Oh
questions are
man.
just head on. Head on. Like, yo,
Yeah,
what's going on? What's
yeah,
going on?
yeah.
This guy, Rashford, why is he benching? Hey, did you know he went out to the party? Huh? I spoke to him.
Mm.
Unacceptable. And it's like, whoa, okay. But it's an
Yeah,
internal affair. So man, just trust our gaffer.
yeah.
Really, really.
True. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I hear you. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Glory Reds podcast. Don't forget you can catch us on all your favorite podcast and streaming platforms for Glory Reds FC. Subscribe, like, follow wherever we're at. And with that being said, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.